Sanibonani, Awusheni, Dumelang. I mean, it's still morning while we're shooting this on the Macheloni. Bonjour. Mikasa, Sukasa. I mean, we're covering everyone here. We're covering everyone. But hello to you guys and welcome to Fest 11 Sports. This is going to be your one-stop show for everything sport. Mostly football, of course, because we're football people. But then we'll touch on other sports. Make sure that you stay informed with everything that's happening in the world of sports. My name is Biso Sport. Now, probably 95% of you watching this have never seen me. You don't know who I am. So let me just give you a brief intro. I'm a sports analyst. I'm a football analyst. I'm a sports researcher. A content curator for Andile Ngube's Sports Night Amplified on Metro FM. But as handsome as I am and as entertaining as you can already tell I am, come on, let me cook. I cannot do the show alone. So every week that you tune in, every episode that you tune in, you're going to see me with two people. For the first episode, I've got Kev Storm, I've got Orabile, and I'll just let them also introduce themselves before I tell you what the content of the show will be. So, Mr. Storm?
Television Storm, Kev Storm on socials. I'm a sport addict, if one can say that. I am an avid watcher of sports. Like Biso has already touched on, we're gonna mostly be focused on sports, but we'll cover other sports like your cricket, your NBA, and your F1, and one-stop shop.
Thank you so much. I'm Waravila Benjamin. A sports writer, an aspiring sports broadcaster to be specific. I'm here to also talk about all things that are considered to be in sports, such as NBA, football, anything, cricket. And I'm here with my big brother Biso, about to cover every single thing, unpack every single thing for you guys. I'm excited to be here,
Big brother. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, guys, so basically, like I said, we're going to be covering football mostly, but we're going to touch on everything else. The NBA, Kev mentioned, cricket, F1, everything that you guys enjoy with sports. We'll make sure that we cover all bases and make sure you stay informed with everything. For those of you that also play Fantasy Premier League, for example, we'll give you tips as time goes by, to make sure that you stay on top of those mini leagues. But basically, let's just get into it. I mean, we've done enough of the introductions already. Let's start off with the transfer window for football, right? There's been a lot that has been happening. I mean, from the local game, we've seen what's happened. I mean, and Ikram Reina's moving to a Mamelodi Sundowns. We've seen Coach Rolani they parted ways with Mamelodi Sundowns. He's moved on to North Africa. You go on to the European leagues. We've seen Mbappe, get his big move to Real Madrid finally.
Yeah.
So, what's your guys' feel on the transfer window? Like, which team do you think has impressed you the most? What has surprised you? Which team do you think has done good business, basically?
Starting off with South Africa, to be specific, with the PSL. The team that has impressed me is Cape Town City. They signed Mokocho, the general. The experience that he has. I'm excited to see what he's about to bring in the PSL. Also his experience also in Cape Town City. Because he holds a lot of experience. He has done a lot overseas. You know him as the general, like I said. Hashim Domingo, another experienced player. I'm excited to see what he's about to bring.
I mean, I've seen these first two games that they've played, the first few games that they've played. Hashim Domingo has been so influential in that role as a 10. So that's a very interesting signing in itself.
Very interesting signing. Hashim Domingo has a lot of experience also. Has played in the Football League for quite some time. I'm excited to see what they're going to bring. Also, there's another transfer that has excited me, in the PSL, Gilberto for Orlando Pirates. Gilberto, very fast-paced player.
The most spoken about player.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he's about to do. I think he's going to cause a lot of problems in the wing.
And I think what's interesting for me with that is that Petro de Luanda seem to have supplied the PSL so much in this window. You look at Gilberto moving to Orlando Pirates. You look at Inacio Miguel moving to Kaizer Chiefs. There's the I think it's Carlinhos, the midfielder at Cape Town City side, even though he got injured soon after getting here, he's out for a few months. Petro de Luanda has made so many transfers to South Africa, and the interest for me with that is the fact that you look at what Petro de Luanda did in the AFL. Of course, they went out really early in that. You look at them also in the Champions League. So it was signing players that have that African experience now. You see, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the other one that I touched on initially was Coach Rulani moving to Wydad Casablanca. Now they've signed an entire team for him. They announce signings every single day. You know, how do you feel about that? Because personally, I have this sense that I feel like Sundowns made a mistake by letting him go at the time they did. I mean, the influence that he has on the players at Mamelodi Sundowns, we've seen it happen with so many teams where, you know, a coach moves, or even if players don't want a coach anymore, players have the power to, you know, influence what happens for a team during the season. How do you think that affects Mamelodi Sundowns? Do you think that brings back Orlando Pirates, Stellenbosch? Do you think that gives them a chance now to challenge for the league? Because before, people always say that give Sundowns the league before it even starts.
Definitely.
Does this make it interesting now for them?
It makes it more interesting because if you can look at how Sundowns has been playing, there's a different structure, different tactics in how Coach Mangoba Ngiti is playing right now. Also with Coach Steve Compella. Rulani's move has made a huge impact. Looking at how they played with Stellis over the weekend, there's a whole lot of difference. You can see that Coach Rulani is not there. I'm excited.
It's a different system altogether.
Different system. Going back to also what can we expect with Coach Rulani Mkwena and all of that. I think he's going to bring a lot to it, you know. But it's going to be tough. The North African side of the football league is different from the PSL. The intensity, how things are done, you know. And
you don't really get that much time.
You don't get much.
Yes, I mean, we saw it with Coach Pizzo when he went there. The legends even of the club were already complaining that, you know, we don't like the style, we don't like. So there's a lot of complaints with that.
Why do you complain when you're winning? There's another thing that I'm failing to understand.
It's a very interesting thing with football because people speak about yes, we might win, but the style of play is important, you know, which now ties into, if we move on to European football and the transfers that we've seen there, you know, which teams do you think have made the best signs? I mean, for me personally, I've looked at what an Atletico Madrid has done, and I'm so impressed with the signings that they've made, the direction they've taken. Of course, there's no ignoring the elephant in the room, which is Kylian Mbappe moving to Real Madrid. That's a big impact signing also. Which teams have you been impressed with, and who has had the best window for you?
Like you said, I'm impressed with Atletico. They're doing business. Like, I didn't expect Simeone to be buying players like these, because we usually know Simeone as someone that goes for those robust players, unlike those, you know, touch tiki-taka players. But now he's buying players that can actually interplay with each other. And then the Madrid one, guys. Personally, I feel like when you see the first 3 games that Madrid has played, you feel like Mbappe was just taken from somewhere and just said, play. Because there's no system. At the moment, there's no system. You just go wide cross or wide cut back and then make something happen. And that,
you know, the interesting thing for me with the Mbappe one is, if we're being honest about this, Vinicius is comfortable on the left, right? He plays as a left winger. Kylian Mbappe is comfortable on the left. He doesn't like to play as a center forward. You know, he's a goal scorer, yes, but he's more comfortable playing on that left wing. Rodrigo is more comfortable playing on that left wing. They try to play him on the right, but if you think of every Rodrigo goal that you can think of, it's when he's cutting in from that left or he's linking play from that left. So it seems to be a very left wing heavy attack, right? You've got a Jude Bellingham, of course he plays now. He has to drop into midfield now, right? Rodrigo is going to drift towards the left. Mbappe is going to drift towards the left. Vinicius is going to drift towards the left. So, in terms of the balance of that team, how do you see it moving forward? Do you see all three of them being part of the team on a long-term basis? Do you see one of them at some point being moved away? Do you see an Endrick, for example, becoming a starter at some point, or is he just an impact player for now?
For now, Endrick is an impact player because they're limiting his role to about 5 minutes per game. And then for that system to work, they'll have to put Rodrigo on the right. But if it doesn't work out that way, they'd have to remove Rodrigo. Personally, I feel like the one player they would take out is Rodrigo, and then they would either fit in Ibrahim Diaz or Arda Güler, because Arda Güler brings a balance to the team. Because instead of everybody drifting to the left, he's the one that keeps the balance on the right. Like you saw yesterday when he came up, he started playing towards his side and he started creating more from the right wing. So I feel like one of those three is gonna fall out, and then Arda Ibrahim is gonna be on the left.
I mean, for a Man City, for example, if you're looking at that Real Madrid situation, with the money you have, with the fact that you're also a Champions League contender, do you make a cheeky bid for a Rodrigo? Because Man City on the left wing at the moment, they've got Savinho, who looks like long term. He's going to be the option. Top player, he's skillful, he gets past people. But then you have a Doku on the left who also has so much quality in terms of getting past people, in terms of the 1v1. But then the end product at times is not as efficient as you'd want it to be. Do you put in a cheeky bid for a Rodrigo in that sense? Because we've seen, there's a message that went out on WhatsApp, and Rodrigo says it wasn't him, it was someone from his entourage that said something along the lines of, people are doing this Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham are the trio for Real Madrid, and he feels like his name should be inserted in there.
So many times.
So there's a sense that probably he's not fully happy, or he's not settled. Do you put in a bid?
If you put in a cheeky bid, Rodrigo would have to play on the right at City, because you still have Grealish.
Grealish is
player. He's still a quality player at the end of the day.
That's true, but there's as much as people don't, and as much as people underrate Grealish, when he's on the ball, he attracts so much attention. So much attention that he can have, they can double team him, and his foot movement can create space for Abo De Bruyne, or he can even Travella or outside to Haaland, and he usually scores.
And to add on to that point, that triple run, Grealish was instrumental in that run. He made so much of a contribution. So that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting one. Just to reel it back into South Africa, we saw the squad announcement for Hugo Broos. At the moment, I think our goalkeeper is injured. Ronwen Williams. So we've seen we've got Veli Motwa in there, we've got Ricardo Goss in there, we've got Sipo Chain from Orlando Pirates. You look at it from an attacking sense, the exciting Captain Yama 2000 is in there. You've got Maswangani also in there, you've got a Temba Zwane in there. Pesitao was left out of this particular squad, which is a bit of an interesting one, but the coach did explain that he's been getting a lot of criticism and he feels like he has to protect him in a way. And also the fact that there's a bit of speculation about whether or not he'll stay at Al Ahly or if he's moving, and that can affect a player mentally. But you still have an Ikram Reyners in there, you still have a Lyle Foster in there. How do you guys feel about the squad at the moment, the squad that was picked? Are you happy?
I'm in the middle, whereby I see that Hugo Broos took the same approach that he took when he went to AFCON. A similar approach, but with new players, coming in, younger players coming in, like Relebukile Mofokeng. I'm happy to see them, young players coming in and all of that. But I do have one question for him though, because players like Gift Links playing very well in Denmark. He should be in the squad for me.
True.
Gift Links is a player that's been performing really well. I've been watching him, analyzing him. I feel that as a 25-year-old, he is a player that should be getting a chance.
Yeah.
He's been showcasing that he can do things in Europe, play in Denmark top leagues, and still maintain a certain standard. But also there's a player that I feel that should be included, Kanisa Mayo. I know he just made a move to Algeria. People will say Kanisa should be, settling in before he should be chosen. Maybe he'll be chosen next year when we're playing for the World Cup qualifiers. However, but I feel like he should be getting a chance.
The interesting thing with that is that Hugo Broos has, in a way, alluded to the fact that as much as Kanyisa's doing well at club level, he feels like the times that he's brought him in, he hasn't probably taken that opportunity on as much as he would want, which is probably the same case with the Tsehofatso Mabasa, top goal scorer in the league. And a lot of the conversation is, why isn't he being picked? I think he's only picked him. I remember he played in 2021, I think, for Bafana. He was picked by Hugo Broos. I think he played also in the friendlies that we had, I think a few months ago, just before AFCON actually. So it was just a few months ago. So if you're looking at those options, right? Because right now we've got two strikers in that Bafana Bafana team. We've got Ikram Reyners, we've got Lau Forster. With the Mabasa and the Mayo, who do you take out between those two? Do you see them being above either of those two in terms of, because you can argue with the Mabasa that he scored more goals than in Ikram Reyners, but then Ikram Reyners played in the previous international window that we had, and he scored some goals in there also. So
I feel like we need a target man.
A target man. More for Mahopa.
Even Mabasa can be a target man.
He can,
because he has the body, he has the height. Because, excuse me, now if you have two players that are always need ball to feet or have to run in behind, you won't always get supply. But if you have someone that can hold the ball, spread it, attract defenders, pull defenders with him, you can bring your number 10s and your 8s to the box with you and then create an overload of some sort.
I'm going off on a tangent here, but I've always had a problem with strikers that are known for hard work. My thing is, my number 9, I need goals.
Yes,
that's my first requirement. But I think with sort of like maturing into understanding football, you start to understand that there's different roles that players play. You see, so sometimes having a target man sort of like frees up your midfielders to start getting goals, so that it's not just him that's supposed to get the goals. You have a little more supply going with it. So I totally understand that, but it will be interesting, man. I hope that, because these are AFCON qualifiers that we're doing at the moment, I hope that we can qualify for the AFCON again. I think the big one for me is the World Cup. Regardless of what happens with AFCON, the World Cup is the big one that I would want. That for me, I would look at as progress moving forward. I'm going to ask you guys I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's winning the PSL? Who's winning La Liga? Who's winning EPL? Who's winning the Men's Champions League? Who's winning the African Champions League? And who's winning the Women's Champions League in Europe?
That works over to you.
I think I'm going to have to think about the women's one.
Okay.
There's a lot of top teams there.
Yeah.
But I will have to go with Barcelona on the women's team.
True.
True. PSL, I want to take a very bold prediction. Orlando Pirates.
Okay.
Orlando Pirates, I feel like they're going to bring something.
Okay.
Surprise us.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that Rulani also moved out from Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, the style of play is still being
still a bit shaky, but I see that Orlando Pirates has a lot to offer. The EPL, Pep would want to go out with a bang if he leaves.
5 in a row.
5 in a row,
Unprecedented.
But Andre Slot, don't put him out. This is a very bold prediction for me again. It's his first season. He wants to prove himself, So he would want to also step up, also bringing Chiesa, latest transfer window,
Okay.
I'm still shocked by the deal. They got him for 13.
13, yeah.
It's interesting. So you're saying Liverpool for the EPL?
Man City / Liverpool.
Okay.
It's going to be a City versus Liverpool type of league.
You don't have Arsenal in the race?
Arsenal, I'm not taking them out, but I think predominantly,
they'll choke. That's what
they
you're
might
saying.
choke. Yeah, I think
Okay.
predominantly.
Okay.
Arteta will learn from his mistakes, but I think that
Yeah.
it takes a lot of experience to win the EPL. You might start with a bang, but at the end,
Yeah. It becomes tough. La Liga?
here I'll go with Real Madrid.
Okay.
As much as they're struggling with how they're interjecting with how Mbappe and Vini's playing, all of those problems that they're facing right now, I think that they're gonna come back. Once they get that momentum, they'll be unstoppable.
Yeah.
They'll be very unstoppable, because people might say, look at Barcelona, it's going to come, but Real Madrid.
But Barcelona have won their first 3 games. But anyway,
It's the beginning of the season.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the season.
Okay.
AFL, also African.
Yes.
African Champions League. I think it's tough, but I'll give it to Al Ahly.
Okay.
Al Ahly.
I mean, they're the Real Madrid of Africa. They know how to win it.
Al Ahly.
You don't see Sundowns?
No, not this season.
Okay.
Okay. Change of coach.
And change of coach, it's going to change is inevitable, but change takes a lot of process and time. You can bring the best players, but for them to gel and for the team to function well, it takes a lot of time.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's my predictions.
Storm?
Women's Champions League. You see, is it Alexia Putellas?
Yeah.
Quality.
Nah.
Quality. And Bon Mati in the same team.
She gives me stress. So it would make sense to say Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah? However, see Lyon. See Lyon. Lyon would want to tell them, "Hey, this is our title."
Yeah, because I think Barca has won the last two that they've won.
Yeah.
But then Lyon has over
They have
a
the
long
longest
stretch of
stretch.
time been the
Yeah.
dominant team. Okay.
So
The Champions League for men, Europe,
Madrid.
Madrid. Okay.
Madrid.
La Liga.
You see this one, eh? This one is the tricky one because Hansi Flick doesn't like losing.
Yeah.
Doesn't like losing, and if Madrid doesn't get the ducks in order, they're gonna be chasing a huge gap. So
By the time they wake up to it.
yeah, so I'm gonna say Hansi Flick's Barca,
Okay.
even though
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Hansi Flick's Barca.
African Champions League.
Al Ahly.
Al Ahly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a clean sweep for Al Ahly. Okay. What else did you leave out of that
PSL.
one? The PSL.
Yeah.
PSL. Okay, I'm gonna go bold. I think Cape Town City.
Oh.
Whoa! My brother,
Cape Town City.
that is a deep prediction.
If they get the gel of the youth and the experience together.
I mean, you mentioned Kamukelo Mukojo earlier.
Yeah.
Chueza looked really good against the Orlando Pirates. The Hashim Domingo looked good. Makaringa is good. Jaden Rhodes on that wing. So they do have a good team.
They have Rhodes on the one side, and then they have Uheaven on the other side. They took him from varsity football. Mtwana Gas. So if they can get that gel,
My brother, you think Cape Town City can topple Mamelodi Sundowns and Pirates?
I'm saying City, / Pirates.
Okay. So you don't have Stellenbosch.
Hey, the bogey team,
Yes.
Because now that you guys have given me predictions, I mean, Stellenbosch is an interesting team in the PSL also.
Yeah.
I personally don't think they'll win. Yes, they finished third last season. Yeah, but I don't think they'll win the league, but I think that they'll have some influence on that. In La Liga, you said Real Madrid, you said Barca, and Atletico Madrid is also that's a good enough squad also.
But then they need to fix their stuff first. They need to gel first.
They need to gel first. I mean, African Champions League, you mentioned Al Ahly, very good team. But then Coach Rolani is in Wydad, and in Wydad there's a team, in Morocco there's a team called Raja Casablanca, which went invincible in the league last season. So that's another interesting spanner in the works. So it's going to be interesting in terms of who wins these leagues. But I'm going to let the people decide on that.
My last prediction. EPL. Like I said, if it is last season, it's gonna wanna go out with a bang. It's gonna be City.
Okay, so I see you both, none of you guys believe in the team that has 44 players. But anyway, it's cool. Okay, so just to close off, let me touch on what's happened in other sports, right? We've seen in F1, Verstappen has a huge lead, but there's still a chance for Lando Norris probably. He's not too far off. Well, he still has a few wins to get to him. We've seen what Lewis Hamilton has done. It doesn't really look like he's challenging for the title this season, but he's moving to a Ferrari next season. That's what a lot of people are waiting for. We saw in the Olympics, South Africa managed to get a silver medal in the 4x100. That's something that we're going to brag about. No DNA, just RSA. That's something we're going to brag about for a very long time. You saw Dricus Duplessis beat Adesanya. Bayanda Walaza won the under 20 world championships. He got gold in that, so he's the fastest teenager in the world. Unkwana got bronze in that race. You see, so we've got 2 of the 3 fastest teenagers in the world.
And another one, Okone just recently won today, 400 meters.
You see, so we're doing well there. So in terms of other sports, like what are you guys interested in at the moment? How do you feel about the Olympics? Noah Lyle said he had COVID. I don't believe that personally. I think he just lost.
That's what they're saying about Laos. I feel like, but some say it's a cover-up because they knew he wasn't going to beat Uteboho. So that one
was sensational.
That one is a how the media can just change a person's mind. So it's one of those. But anyway, going back to F1. F1 is nice, but now the reason why Red Bull is not doing so well, they're tinkering with the engine again. That's why because you can.
Do you feel like they're messing with the winning formula?
Yeah, but they say they want to improve it. But if you saw the last race, is it Norris that won? He won with a 22-second gap. The difference is a lot.
Let me address the elephant in the room as far as F1 goes.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people lost interest in watching F1 when that. I'm trying to find language that isn't flagrant. When that
mess up.
That was the mix up, my guy. That was a robbery. Well, that's what I feel.
It was
a mix up for me.
It's not a mix up. It was a colossal.
Thank you.
See it in simpler terms. So that they can get it.
It was a big mess up.
Yeah.
From the FIA.
Okay.
Do you feel like he was robbed?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Because Verstappen was not supposed to have done what he was supposed to do, and they allowed it.
Okay. No. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
With athletics, just to wrap up, do you guys feel like South Africa, or rather Africa, has now become one of the powerhouses in sprint?
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Okay.
I agree. Yes. Looking at Bayanda as well, I'm excited to see what he has to bring. Considering his age, he's 18, I think.
So he's going to be...
I'm just looking at the fact of, the longevity of it.
Yeah.
Can he sustain that? I believe in him, just to put it out there.
I mean, we've got a Richardson also, who's
yes,
still young also. So we've got a solid team.
They also have, for the 4x1, they had another teenager. He was a reserve. He was just waiting on the wings.
Oh, yes. So we've got a solid team rounded up.
As Africa as a whole, Uteboho for sprints is the flag bearer now.
Yeah.
As much as he doesn't want to be the face,
he is the face by force.
He's the
by the fact that he's doing so much. So precisely. Yeah, man. So basically, guys, that's episode 1 for you wrapped up. We're going to join you guys again in a couple of days after you see this one. We're going to have another one for you. Probably it'll be 2 different people. I don't know. These guys don't seem to really like sitting with me a lot. It's okay. It's cool.
We like sitting with you.
Okay, if you say so. But anyway, you're going to see them back again. You're going to see them back again. We're probably going to have 2 more people. There's like 5 people that we have on the panel, very different views, very different, approaches to this analysis thing. So we'll try and keep you entertained all the way through, pair them differently, and make sure that you have something to entertain you and inform you as time goes by. But yeah, man, follow us on all our platforms. It's at First 11 Sports, F11S, if you want to find us with the hashtag. But yeah, man, at First 11 Sports everywhere. Follow us, engage with us. Tell these guys if they know football or not. Don't bash me. I'm a nice guy. But I'll make sure that I put their handles down here also to make sure that you can follow them also. And yeah, man, let's engage. Let's grow this community and enjoy the show as we go along. Thank you so much.
Sayonara.
Thank you.